Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our August Mornings with Mayesh show. I am Yvonne Ashton, the Director of Marketing here at Mayesh, and I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes to come on in and join us before we get started. So while we are waiting for everyone to come on in, please let me know where you guys are from. Type that in the comments. If you have questions while we were talking, definitely put those in the comments. We have a full show today, but I will try my best to answer everything along with my co-host today, Shelley Anders. So also while we are getting started, I would love for you to click the share button and let your friends and followers know about this show, especially your flower friends. Awesome. All right, guys. I have Allie or Desi in the background, being my wing lady, if you will, helping post links and also just keeping us on top of everything that's happening in the comments. So far, I see Ryan O'Neill. Good morning. We love Ryan. He is from Curate. If you guys don't know about that, be sure you check it out. You might know Curate, they changed their name recently. So they used to be called STEM Counter. Be sure you check that out. I see TG. Good morning. They are someone that always comes on and watches our show. We appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning. Also, what else do I need to cover? If you guys are listening to this replay, thank you for listening. You will find our replay if you need it on our blog along with our show notes. I will be posting that probably in a couple of days, along with our podcast. So if you rather listen rather than watch, we will make that happen for you. So we got the video replay, we got a podcast replay, and our show notes if you like to read. All good. We cover all of it. We like to please everyone. So I hope that you guys check that out and share it, please. Okay. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by Mayesh Design Star Flower Workshop Tour. And we actually only have one stop left this year. We will be in Salt Lake City, November 12th and 13th. And I hope to see you there. Get those tickets. And what else? What else do I need to cover? I think that's it. I do want to mention before we get started that we will be in Quito, Ecuador in March, guys. Right now I have 20 tickets sold. I have 20 tickets available and 16 sold. So that means I have 4 seats left. I think I might be able to open up to a few more seats. So we're going to figure that out in the next couple of weeks. I look really greeny. Am I greeny to you guys? Love to know. Let me know. So anyhow, Quito is going to be amazing. It's next March. Go to mayesh.com for the details. And let me go through and see who else saying good morning. Hi, Chelsea. She says, would love feedback on Instagram and hashtags, Top of the Hill Decor. If I have time at the end of the show, I'll do that. If not, I will definitely add you to next month's show. I see Melissa had some questions in here that we added to the show. Who else? I see Katie. Hello from Bend, Oregon. Good morning, Katie. We have Lisa from Hurricane, West Virginia. I didn't even know there was such a place. Hurricanes. We're in hurricane season here in South Florida. So that's the first thing that I think of when I see that. Who else? Jennifer, good morning from Huntress Florals. Another regular. Thank you for joining us again today. And we have Stephanie, good morning. Erica from Charlotte, North Carolina. Gay from South Carolina Low Country. Dominique from the Bahamas. Woo! I love that. And yeah, I'm a little grainy. Hopefully I look a little bit better now. So hopefully this is better. There's a storm brewing. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I always feel like I have technical issues when there's storms in the air. And designs from Amber. Good morning, guys. All right. So I am going to, I think, bring on Shelley and we will get started. Here we go. Good morning, Shelley. Welcome to Mornings with Mayesh. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. I'm good, Yvonne. I'm great. I'm happy to be here. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm all pumped up. I love this. I love this part of my day and of my month, honestly. This is one of my favorite things to do. So I love when we start doing a little show and tell. Did you bring any flowers to show everyone?
I did. I'm all about it.
Yay.
I brought some really cool hydrangeas for you guys to see. It's like a hydrangea extravaganza around here, and I'm not talking about your bread and butter white varieties. I brought some really pretty lace cap varieties from Oregon. So first up is the Quickfire from Oregon. It's the pretty blushy one that's everyone's going gaga over.
So beautiful.
And then the white one. Ah.
I know. Amazing.
And then I have this space here.
You're a little stuck and I can't hear you. Shelley? Anyone else having issues hearing Shelley?
Really pretty. And it's like all different shades of heathery, lavender, purple, and blue shades. So these are all from Oregon right now. Just limited at this time. It's a short time period that we get these in August, and pretty much right now, August, right up, I think, into the 1st of September. Aren't they gorgeous? I love the popcorn varieties. They're almost like popcorn, hard and crunchy. Can you see?
Those are amazing. Yeah. Love it.
They look good with my nails, too.
They do. Let me see if I can make you a little bit bigger.
And then I wanted to showcase this really beautiful local lisianthus that we get from one of our growers, Crimson Sky. It's a beautiful brown, kind of purpley mauvey color. I don't know if you can see the color really well. It's more of a brownish mauve tone, but it reads a little purpley. But it's a very beautiful color. It's a really popular tone right now. We're seeing a lot of this tone in weddings. It's very beautiful.
Awesome. Beautiful.
And I wanted to show you guys this very unusual shade of Scabiosa. It's a peachy tone.
Oh.
It's kind of a buttery, yellowy peach tone.
Really very pretty. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I know. Everyone's always like, what is that? And I'm like, it's Scabiosa. By the way, worst name ever for flowers.
Scabiosa, I know. Gross.
I just love to show off grasses. So this is a cute bunny tail, and it's a very pale color. And texture is very, very popular right now. So a lot of grass. And one of my favorites also for texture is Gomphrenia, also known as Globe Amaranth. This little guy, really fun and pretty to use. It comes in a bunch of different colors, and it dries really well. So it comes in like a hot pink magenta shade and a raspberry color called Strawberry Fields. That's really nice. Or it's more of like a reddish color. It's pretty. But I saved the best for last. And y'all, I have to credit Mayesh Houston. They showed this off on their Instagram, and you know I had to order it. So this is called Westminster Abbey.
Ooh.
It's
those are amazing.
Gorgeous rose. It's the VIP rose from Holland. This is what the packaging looks like. They are expensive. So, they're expensive, but they're so worth it. Look at them.
Can you describe the color? Because I know sometimes it doesn't always translate well over a monitor, but they look amazing.
It looks like quicksand and menta and early gray had a little ménage à trois and turned out a hearts kind of looking baby.
Yeah.
So it's really pretty and it's super elegant looking. It's got a really creamy lushness to it. That color is insane.
It's gorgeous.
Tall too.
Wow.
I'm gonna say they're 60 centimeter at least. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
They're twice the cost of a cafe latte rose. If y'all know how much those are, we don't usually give out wholesale prices on the internet here, but they're twice the cost of a cafe latte rose.
Wow.
So that means double.
Double. Yeah, they're gorgeous though. So for everyone that is listening to the podcast, make sure you pop on over and watch the video replay so that way you guys can see these amazing VIP roses. What is the name of the variety again?
Westminster Abbey, which is
Very cool.
very on trend right now, considering the royal wedding.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful rose. It's a 10-stem bunch too. So even though they're expensive, you only have to buy 10 stems. So the Dutch varieties are interesting because they come in 10-stem bunches, 10 or 12 stems. So you don't have to buy 25.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's it.
Beautiful. Yay. I love it. For all you guys that are watching live, let us know what was your favorite product that you just saw. Are you guys going to contact your rep about the Westminster roses? Westminster Abbey roses? Those are amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Good stuff. Thank you, Shelley. So our first question for the show today is from Bridget, and it kind of ties back to our last show, and we were talking about local product, and so she wanted to know what is some of the product that's local to Miami. So we work with a small grower there, and he grows grapevine and honeysuckle, figs, false aurelia. I don't even know if I'm saying this correctly. Begonia leaves, mini magnolia, pokeweed, sugarcane grass, and everglade grass. Lots of really cool, fun texture things. So those are all throughout the year. And if you want to know more, you just got to talk to your Mayesh rep about that, your Mayesh Miami rep, if you are a Miami customer. And again, all of our branches have all different kind of local growers in the area. So you just got to talk to them and see what is available and when it's available. Because especially in certain types of climates, obviously they can't be growing things all of the time. Real quick too, before we move on to the next question, I wanted to show you guys real quick. Do you guys have Florist review for this month? If you do, and if you don't, I hope that you go and grab it. Because if you haven't noticed, Florist Review's done an amazing job revamping their magazine. I think they're just pumping out a lot of great content. Their covers are beautiful. The paper is different. It's definitely, they've stepped up their game. But there's this 35 under 35 article. And if you flip to the first one, who do we see? Our Ellie Dawson.
Hey, Allie.
Yay. Ellie is on my team. I love her. I don't know what I would do without her. And she is amazing at what she does. And so I love seeing her getting recognized for all of the amazing work that she has done for Mayesh. So super cool. Check it out. Tons of great designers and other people on that list. So I love it. So check it out. 35 under 35 in this month's Florist Review. Cool. Cool
Yay,
stuff. Yay, Allie.
Awesome.
I know, right? Okay, so let's move on to our next question. It is from Kirsten. It came through on Instagram, and she wants to know if we can talk about different kinds of garden roses, not just David Austin, and how to prepare them for arrangements and how long they last.
Yeah, so with garden roses, there's the ones that we get in, they're David Austin variety. That's a brand name. And then there's also Alexandria Farms. That's a grower that grows their varieties and also David Austin. Then there's also local California growers who grow their own garden roses. So I'm assuming she's talking about those kinds of garden roses or even garden roses in your backyard, how to care for any garden roses. So South American varieties typically will last longer than the garden roses that are grown locally. But the local garden roses do hold up pretty well. We carry some from Ella Rose Farm, and they hold up remarkably well. So the trick with garden roses and all roses are a couple things. Make sure, of course, remove packaging. Take off your lower leaves. My rule of thumb is always to remove the lower 3/4 amount of leaves from the bottom, leave a quarter leaf at the top. Keep all greenery out of the water line. Greenery is the first thing that will muck up the water and cause bacteria. Always use a clean, sharp knife, 45-degree angle, cool water, tepid water, or room temperature water initially. And then make sure, in Keep them out of drafts, sunny, bright areas that are too much heat. You want to keep them in an area where they can open up naturally. Let them open up and allow them to open for your event. One of the biggest things with garden roses is they need time to open. You want them to be blown out and blousy and not tight for your event. So typically garden roses, South American varieties, for example, are going to last about 2 weeks, believe it or not. You can actually get a rose from fresh stage to blown out open. They'll last about 2 weeks. But that means taking care of them. You got to change the water every couple of days, 24 to 48 hours. It's not excessive. Clean water, folks. I always say you want to be able to drink that water yourself. If there's bacteria in it, your flower's not happy either. But you want to drink that murky crap? No, I don't think so. So make sure that you're keeping your water clean. Processing is very important. But the local garden roses or roses from your backyard, they're not going to last as long. So if you're using them for an event, get them in maybe Tuesday, Wednesday before your event, or wait to cut your roses like Thursday before your event. I know I grow iceberg roses. There's a lot of people that grow their own roses. Just make sure that you have to kind of learn what stage your rose is opening up at. So tighter, obviously, will last longer. More blown open, they're going to fall apart faster. Hopefully that answers the question.
Awesome. I love it. Good stuff. Alexandra Farms too has like a new brand of garden roses too. I don't remember. Do you know what it's called? I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyone know that's listening?
No, but I'll look that up. I hadn't heard. Yeah.
Yeah, they have some really beautiful varieties too. I can't remember the brand of it. Like a modern looking. I should remember, but I have an awful memory. I went to the show and everything to see it. Yeah, so check it out because they had some new cool varieties that weren't even Austin. So for Kirsten, that would be a good thing to ask your rep about as well.
Yeah, we'll check it out for you.
Yeah. So the next question is from Evelyn. She wants to know if any recommendations on how to keep flowers in the cooler fresh. She's having problems with her snapdragons, especially. And right now she's keeping them separate from carnations. So do you have any suggestions for her, Shelley?
Well, one of the things that a lot of flowers have problems with, snapdragons in particular, is ethylene gas. So make sure that your cooler is clean. Clean your buckets. Make sure you don't have old debris or dead flowers, leaves, or old flower heads. A lot of us, you need to take the time to sweep out your cooler periodically, wipe it down, make sure there's not mold growing in there. Make sure your filters are clean on your cooler. Changing that one thing sometimes will do the trick. You need to make sure that when you process your snapdragons, make sure your snaps are in good shape when you buy them, that they're fresh. A lot of times, I remember years ago, I worked for an older florist, and he was like, you could just tip those suckers out, and I'm like, you mean take the tops off? No, you can't do that like you do glads, but yes, you can. So whenever your snaps look a little droopy, you can very gently go in and tip the heads or the top of them. Not crazy, like don't chop them off, but there's a little part of them that's really tender. You can tip that part off. So if that droopy part they're not perky for you, you can tip them out. It's just real easy. Just go in and do it, and it'll get immediately this nice little perkiness. Also, don't lay them down on your table when you're processing them. That will cause them to almost bend over. So keep them upright when you're processing them. That helps. Clean up any bad or yucky foliage on the bottom. Make sure there's no bad or yucky foliage in the water. Those are a lot of just normal processing tips that apply to a lot of flowers. A lot of times, snaps are actually a really long-lasting pedestrian good flower. They're a workhorse in your flower arsenal. So I think it's more of making sure your buckets are clean. Use flower preservative. Use the correct flower preservatives. There's a lot of things. It's more about processing, because if you've got fresh, healthy flowers, they usually will hold up just fine. It's more usually about your environment the flowers are in. And I find that sometimes snapdragons do better out of the cooler if the temperature is moderate. If you've got 70 degrees, 75 degrees, when we're talking 90 to 100 degrees like it's been lately, that's not so good. But when your temperature is moderate, sometimes they do well. And I just actually started growing snapdragons, and they're kind of amazing when they grow. They split out and grow into like multiple heads, and they do their thing. So try that and see if that helps.
Very cool. Real quick, TG says someone is very good at whistling. You got a whistler in that background. Can maybe try turning down your gain a little bit because I can hear.
You know what? I don't have the mic on today. It's hard.
Oh,
I apologize. I'm in a live big old warehouse. So
okay.
I do apologize for the noise in the background, guys. I can't really do anything about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. All right. Whoever that is, though, they need to teach me how to whistle because I'm awful.
Well, you know what? One of our guys back here breaks into song every once in a while, so we might get entertained.
It's fun. Yeah. We're like, Shelley is live on the floor. Unfortunately, they don't have like a quiet office space or anything like that, but we love having her on the show. So
yeah, next time I might try to go upstairs in the office when the ladies have let me use that before, so I'll try.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. So the next question is from Desiree. I love that name. We have a Desiree on our team. She wants to know, do most people find Astilbe to be a flower that does not last in bouquets? Because I do. I urge clients to find another flower because I don't want to water tube and add more weight to an already cumbersome bouquet. Such a beautiful bloom, but how can we get past the browning tips and them looking pretty sad mid-wedding day?
Oh, Astilbe. It's so pretty. It's such a hard one. Okay, so I was doing some reading on Astilbe before because it does not hold up really well. It's one of those flowers like I did find an article about Astilbe that said it's kind of like hellebore. You have to actually plunge it in hot water first and then cool it down and then put it in your cooler, and it will hold up to 12 days. So I am going to try that technique. I have not personally done that yet, but I think that's worth trying. It is something that usually, when we get Astilbe, when it's super fresh, it usually holds up pretty well. But even we get it in from Holland, and it'll sometimes already have browning on it. It's one of those flowers. It's not an easy one. I know it's going to rise in popularity again because of the royal wedding. They used that in the bridal bouquet. I've used it for 30 years as a floral designer, and it's just one of those flowers. It's just not something that holds up well. You have to make sure you're designing with it in water. If you're using it in hand-tied bouquets, make sure it's always in water. When you deliver it to your bride, recommend that she keeps it in water. At times when her bouquet is, if she's using it for photo ops, put it back in water. And then during the wedding, when they're not using it, she can put it back in her vase. If she wants to keep turkey, can use Crowning Glory on it. That'll help keep it a little bit. This is fuzzy flower, so it's a weird one with Crowning Glory because it doesn't have a slick surface. So it's just one of those flowers that doesn't hold up very well.
Good stuff. And then I've heard other designers say, like, if they have sensitive flowers that, the bride really, really wants, that they'll just add it like last minute, if it's possible, to the arrangement or the bouquet. So that way, you try and get it in as fresh as possible, keep it in the cooler, let it just be, and then pop it in right before you need to actually use it. So that's, I think, another option too you can explore.
You can also cellophane wrap your bouquet. So this is a trick that old school florists have done for years, and I don't see a lot of younger florists do this, but whenever you do a bridal bouquet, especially when it's hot, cellophane wrap your bouquet. So you basically create a tent over your bouquet. And if you're worried about smashing your flowers, use hyacinth sticks. So you put your bouquet in a vase and you put hyacinth sticks around it, and then you create a tent out of a big sheet of cellophane around the vase. And then you can take a ribbon and wrap it around, and it creates this humid environment around your bouquet. And what that does, it actually will help your flowers open more too. So it'll even look more beautiful. So that's a great way to help your bouquet stay fresher.
Awesome tip. I love it. All right. Next up is a question from Brandy, more about a flower design. And she said, I never had problems with boutonnieres previously, but most recently they're super wilty within a few hours of the bridal party wearing them. She's like, super embarrassing and not a look that she wants to have. The stems are exposed, however, they are in water right up until they're being worn. Help? What should she do?
Okay, well, so I have a lot of questions here on this because boutonnieres, there's only so many flowers you can use for boutonnieres that hold up well. So probably depending on what you're using is where you're having problems. If you're using things like roses or orchids, brunia, succulents, hardy things like, grasses and textural things, they usually don't wilt. And they shouldn't wilt. If you did make a comment about the fact that you're leaving the exposed stem. So the exposed stem look is when you make a boutonniere that looks like a little wildflower clutch or like a little bitty mini bouquet. So you do that look and then you kind of bind it or wrap it with tape and then you do like a little treatment or twine around it. If you do that look, you still need to wire some of those flowers. So some delicate heads or lighter heads that won't support themselves still need to be wired for that look. Now, you can't do things like tulips and freesia, and not every flower is going to hold up out of water after 2 hours. There's some flowers that after 2 hours are just going to go down on you, like hydrangea, for example. Not all flowers are suitable for boutonnieres. You can make any flower out of a boutonniere, but it's not going to hold up on all. So it may be the choice of flower you're using. If you're properly hydrating your flowers, if you use a little Crowning Glory mist on them, if you're cellophane bagging them or putting them in a boutonniere box, if you're putting it in the cooler, then and you're doing all the correct things, and your boutonniere should last you. It'll hold up in a cooler for a week. But if you're using flowers that aren't hardy, that's where you're probably having the problem. And I'm suspecting that's more your issue. So make sure you're road testing a few things if you're not sure. Freesia is a bad flower to use for boutonnieres. The only flower the only part of freesia that really works is the tighter bud part. Like the actual flower doesn't.
Yeah.
Anything that has sort of heaviness to it, it just doesn't work very well. It's probably that, I would assume. And make sure you're watering it properly.
Yeah. And then I think another tip that I've seen people do, and again, you'd have to charge for it, right? But if a bride really wants a certain flower and it's not going to last the whole entire day, for a boutonniere or even a corsage, you just make two. So one that they can kind of keep, wet, in water or sprayed in a cooler type of environment. So that way they can switch out and have something that looks nice and fresh for like the reception, for example.
Yeah, backup boutonniere is not a bad idea with anything that's super delicate. And also make sure you mist your box. Like whenever you go in to lay your boutonnieres or after you do a little Crowning Glory treatment on anything that's delicate, then mist your plastic or your box or whatever you're using. That creates a little humid environment for them too.
Yeah, awesome. I like the little environments that we're talking about today. I feel like that's such an important piece of making sure everything's alive when it arrives. And I think that's a good, and like you said, I don't see a lot of people doing that, or maybe they do and we just don't hear them talking about it. I don't know, but it's a great tip. Yeah. From Texana, I think I'm saying that right. Yeah.
I love that name.
So fun. She says, how do you have beautiful events outdoors with flowers in this heat? What about potted orchids and orchids in general and roses? Yeah, this heat is a killer and it's hard to deal with.
So we're in California, and I've always said you Californians are so spoiled because in Texas and the rest of the country, we know how freaking hot it is, and we don't do weddings outside in the heat. We just don't do it. We have weddings inside in churches or inside like country clubs or places where there's AC. So when you have a wedding outside, you got to prepare yourself for it. Using plants are excellent: orchids, tropicals, succulents, things that aren't going to wilt on you are the best way to go. You also, and I just want to say this because I don't think a lot of florists prepare themselves for the heat when they're not used to it. And in California especially, we're starting to see, I've lived out here 14 years, and this is the last 3 or 4 years especially, the climate has changed so dramatically that the heat here is extended. The last 3 or 4 months, it's just hot here. Where it used to be like 2 or 3 weeks it was hot, now it's like 3 months hot. So you make sure you wear a good hat and some gloves and stay hydrated because you can get heat exhaustion immediately. I don't think you're used to working outside in this heat, so make sure you stay protected, wear sunscreen. I mean, I'm saying stuff you probably should know or already know, but I have girls that are like, I almost died. And I'm like, I know, you should wear your hat. So wear a hat. Don't try to look cute. Wear a hat. So make sure when you're out, you're planning how the day's going to go with the setup too, because a lot of these venues won't let you set up too soon. And you don't want to set up too soon when you've got flowers, obviously, in the heat. And you got to have a big crew. So make sure your crew is ready to go and can put that up quickly for you and get it up at the last possible minute, because when you don't want flowers sitting out there in the sun for 2 hours. So there's a whole lot of production involved when it's hot. It's just it's a different animal. But I think we're going to start seeing a trend here where we're going to have fewer and fewer weddings in California in the summer and more in January on through the spring. And I don't know. It's really hot here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the heat's been crazy. I know even when we were in Santa Barbara, and even when we went to Seattle for our workshop, we stay at Airbnbs, and they don't have air conditioning, and it was insanely hot. And I was like, I'm from South Florida. Everywhere has air conditioning. I turn on my heat maybe like twice a year, if that. So it was just, it's totally different. And yeah, everyone said that they're just not used to the heat, and,
Yeah,
it's been a little crazy.
Climate change is real, folks. So I think we're going to start seeing a trend of changing how, with weddings for sure, it's going to be a different animal.
Yeah. It's good. All right. Well, stay cool. And if we have a bride trying to do a wedding in the middle of the summer, maybe see if they can move that around. Because honestly, other than the flowers, I wouldn't want to be a bride wearing a big wedding gown and the groom in a tux. Like those poor people, and then all your guests are all dressed up, sweating to death. It's just, that's the part even when I lived in Cleveland, and it gets hot in the summer too, and I just felt so bad for all the people that were all dressed up in that heat. It's a little crazy to me. Yeah. Not for me, but to each their own. All right. So the next question is about seminars. Someone asked me if we do seminars on arranging. And I'm sorry, I don't know who asked the question, so I apologize if it's you and you're watching. But anyhow, yes, we have a lot of great sources about learning about flower arranging. First, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows about our video library that everyone should be checking out. We have, as you know, we have a Mayesh Design Star, and they do a monthly design video. But we've been doing this for a while, so that means we have over 400 videos that cover a wide range of design topics, and also general videos about flowers and care and handling. So make sure that you definitely check that out. We'll put the link to our YouTube channel. That's probably the best place to go to. I have started to upload videos to Facebook, and we also have them on our blog. But I feel like if you're looking for videos in particular, our YouTube channel is the best place to go still. So check that out. In addition to our videos, we also offer live educational events. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we have a flower design workshop tour that we've been doing. And so this year we had 5 total. We have 1 left in Salt Lake in November. So definitely visit mayesh.com, get more information about that. And if you want to stay in the know about all of our news and events and all the different things that we do, because things pop up, even Shelley does live teaching types of things at her branch here and there. So if you want to know about those things, you just got to be on our email list. That's probably the easiest way to stay connected with us and make sure that you're not missing anything. So we'll post a link to that too. And I'm actually going to put it on the screen, because if you guys aren't on our email list, I would love for you to be on there. So here. So this is where you go, info.mayesh.com/subscribe. That's how you subscribe to all of our emails, that we don't miss anything. You'll get my monthly newsletter, which is kind of like a recap of everything that's been going on. We always post our new videos on there too. And I try not to send out too much email, because if you are a customer or a qualified lead, you'll also be put onto our whatever branch you're assigned to. So you'll get their pricing information and things like that. But we don't give that out to just anyone. But you can get our general news. We'll give that out to anyone. Cool beans. So I hope that answers your question. And again, we're trying to figure out 2019, and so I got some fun stuff up my sleeve about that. So make sure you guys stay tuned because I'm super excited. We'll be doing another workshop tour with that. We're going to be changing things up and new video series with the new designer. So I know I've gotten questions about the new Mayesh Design Star. So again, my team and I are figuring that out, and we will keep you guys posted on what we have planned. So stay tuned. It's exciting. All right. The next question we have is from Melissa. She wants to know, what is the best way you found to clean up quickly and efficiently for a venue, at a venue after a big install? You have any advice?
Yeah, get organized. Get a big crew. Well, seriously, you need to make sure that you have everything that you need for breakdown setups and anything that you have to have. I think a lot of people go into it not really understanding how much work is involved. Learn your venues, familiarize your sites, places that you always go to do setups and your strikes. Make sure you have all the necessary items for cleanup. Bring your own trash can, bring your own brooms, bags, boxes, your really well-stocked toolkit. Make sure you have enough people with you, a large enough crew to help you. If you don't or you can't afford that, get volunteers, get interns. I cannot underestimate enough how great it is to have enough people to help you. There's only so much time to do these strikes and turnarounds, and it really does help to have that. And that way, you're not the mercy of the venue. You don't have to ask for or borrow anything. Once you start getting yourself organized, you really can knock those out really quickly. It's very beneficial for you to get organized. I think that's my best advice for that. And you get the hang of it after a while. That's really the best way to do it. And don't wing it. Don't go into it thinking, oh, they'll have carts for me. I'll borrow the trash cans. They'll have water pitchers so I can fill my own containers up. Bring everything you think you would need. Bring a shop on wheels. What I say.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And honestly, we do a lot of traveling kind of event design for our workshops, and we would definitely have learned, like, we just have to make sure, because we have to get things from everywhere else. So we talk to the venue, and a lot of times they don't have like enough big rooms or like a big dustpan. Like, they have like little things, and that doesn't work so well for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we spill water pretty much at every single one. And so it's just, we need to make sure there's rags and good mops, again, like with the mops, the last one just had like these little tiny, like spongy things, and that did nothing for us. So, just making sure you have the right things. And if you are traveling or you can't bring them, then just kind of figuring out where you can borrow them from or get them from before you get there.
Yeah. Home Depot actually has the best dustpan ever, guys. And I always tell my florist here, they've got a big metal dustpan. I always use this at my shop, and it's great to have it in your van, but it looks like a giant shovel. And I don't know if you've seen it there or not, but it is great for scooping up flower waste. It's just a big old metal dustpan. So take that with you, keep that in your van. Always keep a broom and a dustpan and trash bags in your van, if nothing else, and a water pitcher, because trying to fill stuff at a venue without that sucks.
I think that's great. And then drop cloths too are really great for installs. I don't know if you talked about that, but drop cloths are a great thing. So that way you can spread that out on the floor, and then that'll help catch a lot of garbage as you're doing things. So yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Shelley. All right. So I see a question here. Hey, Lee wants to know, just join, what's a qualified lead? And I think that's a good kind of segue for my next question. So I'll talk about that along with these next questions that I have. So someone says, as a new florist, I would like for you to walk through the steps of ordering for the first time and things I should know about delivery. I also received a related question from Evelyn wanting to know how we can arrange ordering and get the best pricing on shipping. So I feel like all those things kind of go together a little bit. So Kate, to get you started, so If you are not a customer, but would like to be, we have a registration process that we ask all of our customers to go through. It's just really a form collecting information, and then we're able to ask for all the different other things that we need, like retail license, and if you're shipping, there's a shipping form that you need to sign, and all that fun stuff. So, you go through the registration process, and it's a process because we are B2B. And unlike a lot of other wholesale florists who say that they only sell to floral professionals, we really strive to make sure that we're selling to people in the industry, that we're not selling to end consumers or brides or tire companies. We really get like whole run of the mill people signing up trying to buy flowers from us. So I actually have someone, Jen, on my team who goes through all of the information that you guys submit to us and just verifies that it's legit. Because we really are a true B2B wholesale florist. And so we get a few complaints because it is a longer process than what a lot of people are used to, but we aren't like some of the other companies who will sell to brides. We don't do that. Obviously we have some branches that are in like a market situation and that are open to the public, but our branches generally aren't like that. So that's what I mean by qualified lead is we qualify people. We actually go through everything and verify their information. So that's why it takes us a few days sometimes to get through all of our registrations, especially after a long weekend, because it all kind of builds up. And then Monday, Jen has like a ton of things to go through. So I love the process. Again, you can go, it's super easy. It's just a form and we walk you through everything that you need. Super duper easy. So now to address the other questions. So once you register and we get your account set up, then you're assigned your own sales rep that will walk you through the steps of ordering and shipping. And just for everyone that is new, we have two different shipping teams. We have one in Miami who kind of handles all of our east part of the country. And then we have our LA shipping team that handles the west side of the country if you aren't in the vicinity of a local Mayesh. And so we can work on, once you're assigned your sales rep, then they'll work on quoting costs for flowers. That includes shipping and packing charges. The shipping costs are calculated by weight, actual weight, and the dimensions of the boxes. So each order may differ just depending on shipping and the size of the order. They ship a few different ways too. And I'm reading this off if you guys can't tell because I reached out to our our people. I wanted to have someone on here, but it was too late. They didn't have a webcam, so sorry. So they ship a few different methods. They use a FedEx Priority Overnight and air cargo. So Delta, Southwest, United American, typically. And they'll ship overnight to their nearest airport or to, if you do FedEx, you can get it shipped to wherever you need it to go, whatever address. Shipping via airlines for orders over 100 pounds can be a super significant saver in shipping costs, and especially if you're able to go and pick up at the airport. And picking up cargo at the airport is super duper easy. Your rep will give you the address to the cargo station and where do you need to go, and you just go. I think usually you have to show your ID and then you pick up your boxes. Back in the day, I've done everything in the wholesale business too, from sweeping floors to picking up freight, and it is super easy. If I can do it, you can do it too. And yeah, it's usually a different area from the main airport. You just go and show your ID, and then you load your boxes into your van and you go to your place of business and you can start doing your thing. So super easy, and I feel like that kind of covers the initial steps of how everything works in general for a new shipping customer. I think that answers it. Is that good? Do I see any other questions here?
Yeah. I didn't know all that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. And then do you want to talk a little bit, Shelley, about like just new customer for like a branch level thing, like what you guys do and how that works with you guys?
Yeah, so at our branch, I'm the branch manager. So when you either come in or register online through us, I'll get that notification, and I will first initially talk to you, and then I will either help you or assign you to a sales rep here. We'll kind of see who's a good fit for you. And then what we do is to sort of work with you initially on your first order, kind of get a feel for you as a client and see what you're looking for and how you're doing flower wise. Are you a studio florist or do you have a flower shop? We walk you through the space, sort of introduce you to everybody, show you how it works here. We try to make it as easy and painless as possible for you. We let you meet all the sales reps. I always say it's like finding the perfect hairdresser, hairstylist. Sometimes you might work with somebody for a while and you might gravitate toward another stylist, another sales rep because you like their personality, they're a better fit for you. Everybody's kind of different. We've got someone for everyone here. So we try to let you choose who you want to work with. And then once we got you kind of settled in and comfortable, you can email us your orders, you can call, you can text, you can FaceTime. We're open at this branch Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then we're here a little later in the afternoons as well, still working. But we try to make it super simple. A lot of people think that you can place an order online. You actually can't order online. You can email us orders, but you can order online through Mayesh. That's the full box program that we have. So there's a difference there. So we get a little confusion with that, but you can order through emailing us. That's how you order online. But we do try to make it very simple. We have people that never come in the branch. They just strictly email us. We have people that walk in every day and put orders in. So
Right.
it's a pretty simple process.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
And no order is too small. A lot of people think we are the Nordstrom of the flower world. We only want the fancy orders, but that's not true. We have been in business since the 70s, and we love all the orders, and we want all the orders, whatever you want to give us. If it's a pack of carnations and a pretty bunch of daisies, we can take it. So please don't feel intimidated coming to Mayesh. We love what we do. We're a family-owned business, and we love all of you guys, and we want you to feel comfortable when you walk in. So anybody that wants to come in and talk to us, just come in and say hey and visit, and we'll, walk you through the steps. Not a big deal.
Yeah. I know. I feel like we talk a lot about our Mayesh Luxe Blooms because we feel like that's kind of like the product line that sets us apart from our competitors. But yeah, I like to think of us not as a Nordstrom, but as like a Target. We have everything that you need. Yeah, we're Target, but then we also have kind of like the higher end things too for the people that want them or need them. So we've got everything. Yeah, I know. We're the Target of flowers, wholesale flowers. Target, I love you if you can't tell. Yeah, so good stuff. All right, we still have a few more questions, and I see tons of questions in the comments, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. So keep the questions coming. I will take maybe a couple if we have time at the end, but if I don't, I will definitely roll that over to our next show in September. And Richard said 1978. Yep, we are celebrating, by the way, our 40th anniversary this year. So my team is working on some really fun things. We're going to have a party in October as well. So again, you got to stay tuned for all those details. And if you're not on our email list, make sure you get on it so that way you know about all these fun things that we're going to be doing. I think we're going to do like a cool photo challenge on Instagram that might have something to do with the 70s and lots of really cool things. So honestly, we're working on that right now as we speak. So be sure you stay tuned for that. Super fun, super cool. All right. Next question is, how do you reconcile specific floral work that you've been asked to complete that is not up to par with your own personal taste or brand? What do you think?
Oh,
this is a tricky one.
It's hard, guys, especially when you're new, when you're starting out, and you feel like you have to take everything and you can't say no. And actually, I think for artists and florists, it's really hard to say no anyway, isn't it? You just, you want me to make a sunflower topiary ball? Okay. But,
right.
Here's the thing. You have to kind of work with everybody, and you sort of have to start learning how to curate your brand. And a lot of times that means saying no so that you can say yes to the projects you want to do. But sometimes you're not at that position where you can do that yet. So sometimes you do things you don't even want to photograph. It's totally not Instagram worthy. It's not always going to be like that. And you're not really baby florist, sometimes in the position to do that. You have to sometimes you need to make a living. This job is a weird one. I've been in it for a long time, and we all would love to be at that level where we can say, "No, honey, I can't do that." But we aren't there yet. So you gotta have some funds coming in so you can support your habit, right? So I think the best thing to do is try to take what you can take. Try to steer your clients and show them that you're the one that has that taste. And when they're kind of suggesting things that maybe aren't that great, give them some options and say, hey, that's a great idea, but I could make this better. It's really, really, really easy to make everything look fabulous when you got this to work with.
Yeah.
If you got a lot of money, it's so easy to make flowers look beautiful. But when you don't, and you have a small budget, it takes a true artist to make it look fabulous. This is where your skill as a floral designer is going to shine. So you really got to learn how to be a designer. And you can make help. I mean, if Amy Merritt can make a dandelion and the vase look amazing, you get 1,000 jillion likes. I mean, come on. It's all about you've got to learn how to make it work. So you've got to take that client and either steer them in the right direction, or you got to learn to say, no, that's just not what I do, and very gently and gracefully move them along to somebody else. One of the ways you can do that, if you're a florist that has a studio or event company, or you're not a brick and mortar shop, for example, vet your clients. So have a questionnaire on your website that says, ask them a few questions about like their event and their look, just those little subtle questions. You can kind of get a feel for the client. Mm-hmm. And once you interview them over the phone, you can kind of get a better idea in the sense of like who they are and if they're a good client or fit for you. And then if they're not, then you can steer them to someone who you think might be a better fit. That's one way to do it. If you're a brick and mortar shop, you have opened yourself up to the public. So situate yourself where you want to be. If you want to be a high-end florist, then put your butt in the high-end neighborhood. It's more than likely you're going to get that clientele. If you're a mom and pop shop in a more low-end or moderately priced area, you're going to get all kinds. So you have to decide where you're going to be. We talked about this before with trying to get that high-end client or that money, the money weddings. There's only a small percentage of people who actually get that business, and you've got to go for that kind of clientele. So you won't get that clientele if you're already up here. They won't even come to you. So if they're coming to you, it's because you're presenting yourself down here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you put the face out there of who you are as a brand. So that customer is feeling comfortable enough to present it to you. So you gotta think about it like that. So who are you and what are you showing? And nobody's gonna come up to you if you're sporting Gucci, but if you're looking like Walmart. So you think about your brand. It's curating a brand. So I'm not saying you got to be snobby or anything like that. But again, it's who we are and how we present ourselves and how we curate our brand. But you got to be gentle about it. And in the beginning, you kind of got to take the work you don't want. And sometimes you got to just pick what you're going to put in your portfolio, put your best work out. But a lot of times, it's also good to do that kind of stuff because you also are learning as you go. Mm-hmm. And you become a better designer too. Sometimes when you do crappy stuff, you realize, hey, that's something I don't want to do. I'm not going to do it. So, right.
Yeah. I think that's all great.
That's all great.
Yeah, no. I think it's all great. Echoing right now.
What's that?
I'm echoing right now. Okay, so I have a couple things here too as well to share with you guys. And one of them is I was watching a bigger designer who's well known, has a big following, and someone asked that question of him, and he said, he does still take work that really doesn't fit with who he is as a designer and his brand, but he doesn't post about it. It's not on Instagram, it's not on his blog, but he takes it because this is how he makes a living, and it's a job, and he wants to do really great stuff for his client, even if it isn't what he would like to do. So I think if you are trying to build this up and make a living out of it, you just got to think of that, especially as Shelley calls you, if you're like a baby florist and you're just kind of starting out, you got to do what you need to do to make it work. And then the other way I like to think about this is this just reminds me of an exercise that I did in high school. It was for like an interior design class, and every student got a picture of something ugly. And I think I got like an ugly couch. Like I had to have this ugly fabric on this ugly couch, and then I had to design a whole room around this funky, weird couch. And so, maybe think of it as a design challenge. And, how do you make this like one ugly concept into something really cool? And then the other thing that just brings to mind too is for Kaylee, she was talking about, just being who you are and doing things that are maybe out of the box. And she uses this one designer, I forget the name of them, but they do like really funky things and use really crazy colors and different kind of, yes.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Birch Floral.
Yeah. Yes. They do like totally crazy things that like, individually you'd be like, oh, like, for example, I've seen some of their work and they use like dyed fails. And, if we post those, people are like, ew, gross, dyed anything. Everyone's like freaking out and talking about how nasty it is and how they would never do that. But they just create something totally different and unique that doesn't look like anyone else in the market right now. And so they, it just reminds me of that. Like, you can take something that maybe not be yours and be totally just make it your own and do something really fun and different that you might not have done on your own. Again, a design challenge. Hannah Poro, am I saying that right? She said, what's it called? And it was called, the company name is called Birch Floral.
Yeah, it's spelled BRRCH_floral. And I actually have been talking about her for weeks now to my flower people, because I'm gonna admit something right here on live TV. I was not all about her. I actually been following her for a long time, and I wasn't really paying attention to her. And then one day I'm like, what is she doing? And then I'm like, oh my god! And then I'm like, I was freaking out, And then I'm like, and then I was all about it. I'm obsessed right now. So what she's doing, if you guys don't know about her, she's super innovative in the way that you're probably going to like lose your minds, because you're going to be like, that is so ugly, but it's so cool and it's crazy and it's surreal. Yeah. She is spray painting and dyeing and using dyed fails and dyed baby's breath and carns and the weirdest damn color combinations you ever saw. And it's almost like the ugly flower movement is what I call it. It's such a sharp reaction to all the beautiful garden and freestyle loveliness that we've been doing for so long. And what's really great about Birch is she's so in your face, I don't care. This is like my look and my innovation, and I'm doing it. And it's almost like, I call it like grocery store chic. It's like the uglier the better, but it's almost cool. And if you know who the makeup branded Wholesale is, she does a lot of stuff for them. And she does some really beautiful stuff too, but her stuff is so like out there, weird, innovative. So you got to kind of check her out. But she did a video for, this is what turned me. Okay. I can admit it. Okay. Troy, I can't think of his name. Troy Sivan, y'all will correct me. He's an Australian gay pop singer. He's awesome. And he has a video out called Bloom. And you guys should see the video. Any florist out there is going to dig it. All her crazy surreal colors that she does. She did the video for it. It's one of the first music videos I've ever seen where flowers are so prominent in it. She's done flowers for like Florence and the Machine. She's a New York City florist, so her flowers are like all over the place in New York stuff. She does a lot of editorial stuff for Japanese and Korean and Chinese magazines. I'm probably not being correct here with all those things, but it's pretty crazy and out there. But what it does is it's an out of the box thing. It's a thing. I'm thinking outside the box kind of a thing. And you can tell she's kind of like into anime and anime, or however you say it. But she's pretty cool. And some of the girls here tell you I've been hating on her for a while, because I'm like, I'm all about dyed things. I'm the biggest fan of Design Master. I love dries and all that stuff. But I like pretty. And some of the stuff is not pretty, but it's cool. And, she's doing something different. And you've got to give her props for that. So, you're not all going to love it, but some of you are going to find inspiration in it. And it's almost like a runway show. We don't always love what we see coming down the runway, but it does inspire the ready to wear. And that's what's really cool. about a lot of people. That's what's really cool about the runway show stuff. It inspires you to become creative. And one more thing I wanted to say about this other we were talking about, it's like also when you own your own business, you put yourself out to the public. It's not always about you. Your client's coming to you to create something for them, but it's what they want, and their taste matters. So it may not be your taste always, but their taste matters. So don't squash their little feelings either. Just try to help them make what they want look nice.
Yeah. Awesome. I know that was a really long response to that question, but it was great. I loved it. I hope you guys loved it. We really, obviously, it's a hot topic for us. So let's see. Great. Oh, Maya says great response. Needed to hear that. Awesome. Thanks, Maya. And Jennifer says, preach. Love it. We need to do a little snap, 3 snaps after that or something. Yeah. And then for everyone that we posted the link in the comments, but here is their Birch Floral's Instagram handle. If you want to check that out and see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm a convert. I'm sorry. I will say it.
Love it. It's all good. It's all good.
Rachel from Siren will love to hear me say that.
I love it. All right. So we have a couple more questions and then we're going to wrap up. It's already 11 o'clock and it was just us two, which I love because we had so much to talk about today. Evelyn wants to know, do we have any ideas on promoting flowers during slow times? What do you think, Shelley?
Oh, yeah, I think I answered that. Oh, girl. Okay, if you have a flower shop, there's all kinds of fun things you can do. I own a flower shop, so these are some of the things I did. You can do Instagram giveaways. That's an easy thing to do. You can do that daily or weekly. You can drop off flowers to promote your business by, if it's a local coffee shop, if there's any schools, funeral homes, churches, any place where you can get your name out there where people may not know you even exist in the neighborhood. That, believe it or not everybody knows you're there. Just because you opened up your shop doesn't mean people even know you're in business. Mm-hmm. And you know what? There's fewer and fewer brick and mortar stores. So if you have a flower shop, make sure people know you're around because believe it or not, there are not a lot anymore. So get your butt out there and walk the streets. If you hold any kind of workshops or classes, that's a great way to get yourself out there and let people know. If you have a studio, even if you have a studio, if you're not a brick and mortar shop, have any kind of a workshop, whatever it is. You can do it for brides and bridesmaids. You can have a class on how to do crown for the wedding. You can do our flower crowns. You can do mommy and me classes for, the kids. You can do plant a pot, like have them do little terracotta pots and plant little flowers in it. There's all kinds of things. I hosted a TED Talks for kids. They approached me about it because I'm an eco-friendly flower shop. So if you're doing stuff like that, contact local organizations in your neighborhood, volunteer or do charity work. Get yourself out there and let people know, network. Don't be a hermit. A lot of florists are very artistic introverts. They don't like to put, oh, hi, baby. They don't like to, they don't like to let themselves know that, that they're out there. They're afraid to promote themselves. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. So do your thing. Just let people know. It doesn't hurt to give away bouquets. One of my favorite tips I've ever done is I throw rose petals out on my stoop of my flower shop. So cute. I throw rose petals out on the stoop of my flower shop because people will not come into a flower shop. They just think you have nothing for them. You're a florist, so why bother? But they love seeing those fresh flower petals out on your stoop. So that brought people in my door. They're just like, I just wanted to see what you had. You had flower petals on your flower stoop. That's so pretty. I stole that idea from a French flower shop, by the way. That's not something I came up with. Give a bouquet. Walk out the door and say, hey, here's flowers just for you to a passing stranger. There's so many ways. You have the best job ever to promote yourself because you got flowers in your hand. Give people for free. So do whatever you can.
I love it. And I love the kid part too. I actually did for
that was awesome. She walked in right then too.
little ones. I have two children, and school starts tomorrow. So this is the last one where I'm like, oh my goodness, don't come in here, But she's coming back, just so you guys know, because I need to open a granola bar for her. So you'll see her one more time. And my oldest is visiting her teacher today before school starts. So, but anyhow, my oldest, a couple years ago, I had a birthday party for her, and I did I had like the flower box faces, the flower box, and I had them decorate it with ribbons and stickers and the glitter pens and all that fun stuff. And then I had like a little flower bar for everyone, and they picked out their flowers and created their own design. And they honestly like had so much fun. It's probably my daughter's like favorite birthday that she's ever had. And that would be something that you guys totally could do, like all you florists who have a shop and have like a space, something you could easily do. So moms are always looking.
Get your mamas in there, because they're the ones that are, able to, word of mouth, spread that info around and let them let people know about you.
Yeah, exactly. And then the moms too, like I have like a little mommy group too, and my puppy's in here now too. I have a mom group, and we're always looking for fun things to do. We get together like once a month or every couple of months, and go out to eat or do something fun. And so having like drinking some wine and doing flower design and learning a little bit more about it, I think would be a great way of getting people into your space and seeing what you can do and meeting you and loving you and wanting to support your business. So any of those kinds of things, I'm a big proponent of.
Because really, people love you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't love a business. They love who runs the business. Every shop is only as good as the designer and the person who owns it. So make your shop about you and get your face up there.
Exactly. Big proponent, but I love that. So I hope, and then also during slow times, if you have a slow time, take that time to like really sit down and do a marketing plan and a business plan. And, if you have a hard time keeping up with social media, go through and do some like planning your posts. Like, I'm going to post this, and you can schedule them if you're using like a Hootsuite, which, doesn't cost a whole lot of money, or I think they have a free version. There's all different apps that you can use, but use that time to, prepare yourself for when you are busy. So that way you're not like, oh my goodness, I have no time to do this. There are things that you can do ahead of time, and taking photos and things like that, and doing mock-ups, and just really getting on the ball with those types of things that are really hard to keep up with when you are busy and running your business.
Yeah. And you know what? It's not a bad idea also when it's slow to just take some time for yourself, because we're florists and we're busy a lot, and we don't always get a little downtime. So don't freak out when it's slow. It's a great opportunity to work on yourself, like Yvonne said, work on some of the things you need to do to promote your business. But on the marketing side or the business side or self-help side.
Awesome. Good. So Shelley, I have one more, and it's about an Instagram review, and I can handle that on my own, not unless you want to stay on, or I know you have things to do and get going on. So
I got a lot of orders that need to get out this morning. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. We'll let you go. Thank you so much, Shelley, for your help, and we'll see you next month.
Okay. Bye guys. Have a great day.
All right. Bye, Shelley. Thank you. All right, guys, it's just me and my little one and my puppy. You see him? My little Shar-Pei. He has his bark collar on, so he's been a good boy. But he likes to come in and visit me and see what's going on. He's like, Mom, why are you in here and not out there? Okay, and why he can't come in. He likes to come in and hang out with me. He sits like right by my feet. And my bulldog too. I'm actually surprised she's not barking. Okay, so my last one is from Penny, my last question, and she wants to know about hashtags for their page, Antelope Valley Florist. So I'm hoping you don't mind that I'm using you as an example, Penny, and I'm assuming that you don't mind because you are you submitted the question. So I went to go visit your Instagram page, and just a couple of thoughts there. I love that you are set up as an Instagram business page. So that's amazing. And people can call you and email you and get directions to your business right from your Instagram page. Super, super important if you guys have a business, and especially if you are brick and mortar and have an actual physical location. like Penny does, then I think it's just important to make sure that you have those tools available. If you're like a wedding event type of florist, having the email and call button, I think is great, because sometimes people just want to get a hold of you. And I don't know about you, but I have a hard time keeping up direct messages on Instagram. It's just because of where it is. I'm not sure, but it's not always the main thing that I look at during the day. And I get a lot of messages that way as well. So if you make it easy for people to reach out to you in a way that you can respond easier and faster, I think that's good. The next thing, so the main part is hashtags. And so, Penny, I see that you're in Lancaster, California. And I think right now you're using like Antelope Valley Florist or AV Florist, something like that. So I think you need to look at hashtags that are in different areas that you deliver. I saw that you had a list on your website. So for example, Antelope Valley is in Lancaster, California. And so I would say hashtag Lancaster, California, hashtag Lancaster, California Florist, or Lancaster CA. That's kind of a bigger hashtag than I think Lancaster, California. So just kind of looking at those types of things. And then also creating hashtags for the different pieces of your business. So if you're posting about wedding flowers, then it would be Lancaster CA weddings, or you can say Lancaster CA flowers, that type of thing. And then also using more general ones like hashtag flowers, hashtag wedding flowers, hashtag bouquet. You can use a few of those ones, but if you show up in like the feed for the different cities that you want to be noticed, like Lancaster CA or Antelope Valley, that type of thing, I think that will be really helpful, because then you're going to kind of show up in all the different things that people are posting for that specific city or area. I hope that makes sense and that is helpful to you. And I saw some other people posting like, hey, can you look at my page? So I just wanted to send that out as an offer to you guys. I think that could be fun. Just a couple minutes, just like what I did right now with Penny. If you want to send me a website or Instagram page, a Facebook page, whatever, not everything, because, I want to just take one at a time, but let me know what you want me to review and I can take a peek at it and just give you my 2 cents. I love giving out 2 cents, and you can take it for whatever it's worth. If you think it's helpful, awesome. If not, that's okay too. I won't be offended. But I love helping people. So if you want me to take a quick peek and do a quick review, I would love to do that. So just send me your request. You can either do it in the comments here. You can email me if you want at yashton@mayesh.com, YASHTON@mayesh.com. You can use the contact page on our website. You can send me messages pretty much at all the social media ones. Those all will get to me as well. And I will do that. It is already almost 11:15, so I don't really have any time for more questions. But like I said, keep on posting them. We'll be doing a call for questions again, probably in a few weeks for our next show, and keep them coming. If you guys loved our show, thank you so much for joining us. I hope to see you for our next show on September 11th. I will be here with Dave and Shelley again, answering your flower questions. And with that, it's time to wrap it up, guys. So if you're new, I hope that you follow our channel, our page, our podcast, whatever it is that you guys are listening to or watching. And if you love it, I hope that you share it with your flower friends and with your community. And I just wanted to, again, thank you guys for coming and being a part of the show. And with that, we will see you next month. Take care. Bye, everyone.